I was first aware, I'm really aware of social class. This is kind of interesting. Going to shul on the high holy days. I knew there were people who were richer and poorer, of course, but in my neighborhood, everyone was pretty much the same. They all had lived in the same homes, wore the same clothes, drove the same cars. You know, it was pretty much, you didn't think about, as a kid, social classes. But in the synagogue, of course, you had to buy tickets for the high holy days. Now, in this synagogue, which was a relatively small synagogue, the shul itself maybe held 300, it was very pretty. Very nice seats and beautiful bima and so forth. Maybe it held 300 people. But there were well over 1,000 members of the congregation. So what they did during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, okay, there was a partition behind the end of the synagogue, sort of kind of a curtain that you opened up, and there was like a huge empty auditorium in the back part there. It was just empty. They used it for plays or for affairs, like, you know, dances or whatever. And they set up metal chairs in neat rows. I mean, many, many rows of numbers, A1, A2, A31, and so forth. And I remember, you know, that my father, mother, we had 3 tickets, and it was like in the middle of that metal chair section. And I was always very aware of that thing that I couldn't go in to the main shul because my parents couldn't afford to buy a ticket in there. You know, it's sort of like the line, I'm thinking from Fiddler on the Roof, if I were a rich man, where Tevye sings, if I were rich, I would have the time that I lacked to sit in a synagogue and pray, and maybe have a seat by the eastern wall. And that's what it was. These were the seats sort of by the eastern wall. Okay. And I wasn't aware of that. It wasn't I was angry. I wasn't like angry at my parents, or I wasn't even that envious, really. It was just like a clear observation that, you know, that you had to have some money to get closer to God, it seemed.